Financial Center. We have Franklin Square. Hello, hello, good evening. We have Houston Galleria. I see them, right? Houston. Right. Sometimes I hear that song. What else? We have, my goodness, I'm getting old. I can't see anymore. We have, Franklin Square. There we go. Franklin Square. Hello. Wait. Okay, Franklin Square is in the house. New Orleans. New Orleans Financial Center. Okay, we have Dallas. All right, Dallas. We have Rhode Island. Dallas. Call her All right. What else do we have? We have Sugarland. Sugarland Financial Center. Hey, that's my buddy Ernie right there. Okay, how about Southwest Financial Center? Right? Hello, Southwest. How about El Paso? My God, El Paso is rocking and rolling there. Hello, El Paso. Okay, who else am I missing? Flushing. Empire, right? Yes. Empire Financial Center. They're raising. Alrighty. Okay, who else do we have here? We have Vernon Hills. I see Vernon Hills. Hey, Vernon Hills. Okay. We have Savoy Financial Center. Savoy, yes. How about Troy, Michigan? Troy, there we go. All right, who else do we have here? We have Memphis. I see Memphis. Right? Oh, we see our brothers and sisters in Valiance. Hey, Valiance! How are you? We have, who else? What do we have here? We have, I see, Liz, WSB Toronto Fairview, yes! Hello. All right. Teach me, baby. I better yes. Okay. Baby. I'm freaky, baby. It's 7:30. I think we gotta get ready to start. Again, welcome everyone to our yet another awesome WSB team meeting night, right? Oh my God, I can't believe it. After tonight, one more Wednesday, that's it for May. Could you imagine that? Time flies and we're almost half of the year. Oh my goodness. Anyway, again, my name is Yvette Lakihan from the #1 office of Financial Center. All right. Okay, well, again, I am very, very proud to be your MC tonight. We're going to have two powerful speakers. But again, just to share you my mindset right now with all these things happening, with our new flip chart, building your future. Now we had saving your future. Now we have building your future, right? Is that awesome? So, for those of you that have not seen the full power of that presentation, I think that's a killer presentation. And again, I've been here, for, not too long ago, for almost 30 years. I know I look like 15, but, but anyway, I have to tell you, I'm very excited in my next 30 years than my last 30 years with all this thing happening, listening from our president of WFG yesterday with all the things that's in line for us. That's going to be a lot of bombshell by G26. Just less than 60 days is going to be G26 already, right? So we got to really hurry up and, speed up. And again, tonight's powerful training, take a lot of notes, apply it instantly in the field. So, I don't want to take no longer time to introduce our first speaker, right? It's my privilege to introduce him. I always see him, one of the guy that always, helping WSB community, always with him manning the line, on the events and everything. But I know that he's one of also a pioneer in tonight's training for him with the platform, um, with the new growth and safety and how to have wealth. So let's give it up to, of course, one of my good friend here, Mr. Frank Duong from Katy Financial Center. Let's give a Jesse hand. Take it away, Frank.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Yvette. I appreciate you for that kind introduction. But I do want to let you know that Oak Brook is a good office, but Oak Brook is not the #1 office, right? You guys know that. You know what? I love Oak Brook. Got a lot of good friends there. But you know what? We're always competing with each other. We always want to be #1, because if all officers #1, then the WSB is going to be unstoppable, right? So my name is Frank Yu. I'm from, like I said, from Katy Financial Education Center here. I've been in the business for 18 years in the business, and I'm just a proud campaigner with WSB. Used to be a pharmacist, used to be a market manager for Walmart. So I'm gonna go here and share my slides here, and I want to make sure that you guys be able to see my slides. Just if you tell me you can see it.
All right.
Y'all can see my slides?
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to talk about, we'll talk about the new approach to building a strong financial foundation, right? So we've been putting a lot of focus lately on the security license, right? And to me, it's just not the security license, but it's a focus on a holistic approach, a focus on having a new approach to building a financial foundation. We're still building a financial foundation, right? We're still talking about how to be able to go out there and educate families. But now we educate families building their financial foundation with a holistic approach to be able to take a look at everything, right? So get the clicker right on there, please. All right, so when we talk about building a strong financial foundation, we talk about this where, it's still about property protection. It's still about building that, getting rid of the debt, emergency, and investment, right? Our financial foundation is still the same. But now we want to partner with the Journey to Prosperity to provide financial education, to provide planning and support, monitoring, and checkup. Financial independence is not a dream, right? It's a priority. It's a priority that we make. But we cannot say, hey, we're going to make it a priority for you by only helping you out with one part, the insurance part. We got to say, you know what, we're going to make a priority for you to build a strong financial foundation with everything, with a holistic approach to your financial future. So this new approach, what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about how to be able to do this with growth and strategy, growth and safety. And so the new approach, right? Everybody wants aggressive approach. Who does not expect higher return here? Everybody wants high return, right? But you got to accept the risk. If you're willing to do that, that's great. But then on the other hand, we got a lot of people that want safety, or you got situation that you need safety, right? So you got to have that conservative approach. Expect low rates, yeah, and accept it and have a safety for your money. But what if we can have both? What if we can have the growth and the safety at the same time? And have that aggressive approach where we can have a growth up to a certain cap, Ramon, but then we have that safety of a floor or a buffer in place. So when we take a look at that, the clicker, please. When we take a look at that, so I want to take a look at here is growth, right? So we'll take a look at growth and safety. And I want to say to everybody, we're not moving away from IUL. We're not moving away from protection. And Coach said it this week very well. He said it on webinar. He said it on Titan X. That what I'm gonna say today is it's the same thing. When we say IUL, when we say RILA, and we say UIT, they're all the same thing. They're all the same thing. IUL, RILA, and UIT are all the same thing. It's growth and safety at the same time. It's growth and safety. So when you want that growth and safety, and let's say you want that protection, you want protection for the long run, right? because that's the foundation of our financial foundation, right? That's the first block that you got to build. So what's that protection, right? So we have that protection. We have the index universal life. Am I right? So index universal life. So index universal life, everybody know that we got what? The 4 box. You have growth, right? You have growth from, it could be from a 13.5%, 13%, all the way up to what? All the way up to uncapped. But you have that safety. Maybe that safety is 0 or 0.75, depending what? Which providers you go with. And then you have the tax advantage. You have the tax advantage of tax-free death benefit. Your money is growing, tax defer, and then you have tax-free taking money out. And then you have that protection, right? You have that protection of the death benefit, critical illness, chronic illness, long-term care, and we also have Everest in there. So as you can see, this right here, the base of an IUL is what? Growth and safety. You can have that growth. The average, some of the average IUL return is about 8 to 10% on an average return. So you get that growth, but you get that safety at the same time. But this is built into the protection of life insurance. And then on the other hand, what's part of our financial foundation? We talk about investment, do we not? And so when we talk about investment, hey, a good investment that has growth and safety is RILA. And RILA is the same thing as IUL, minus the life insurance part of it. That's all it is. It's the IUL minus the life insurance part of it. So the 4 box on this, do we have a cap that your money can grow up to a certain cap on the RILA? Yes. That cap could be 60%, 70%, 8%, 250%, but you have a buffer. You have a buffer of 10 to 20%, which means if the market goes down, you have a buffer of either 10 or 20. So if the market was down negative 10, you actually lose 0 if you have a 10% or 20% buffer. If you have a 20% buffer, you're protected on the downside up to 20%. Right? So you have that buffer. It's the same thing as the IUL. You have that growth and you have that buffer. And the average on the RILA return is about 8, 10, 12, 15% a year, depending what company you go with. And it has that tax where it's a talk about tax defer, right? You put the money in, it's tax defer. But look at this. The best thing about RILA, it has no cost in it. So it's just the growth that has a cap, but you have the buffer and it had no cost to it. Right? So it has no cost to it. So isn't that amazing that it's the same thing? But now it's, hey, if they need protection, IUL might not be for everybody. For the majority of people out there, I think IUL is good for them. But then if they be able to do investments, it can be a RILA. But what's in the middle? We also have something other than debt management, right? Debt management, all you have to do is you have discipline, consistency, and start saving money and putting in towards your debt roll-up, you become debt-free, right? But on top of that is what? When we talk about savings and emergency fund, right? So what do you do for your saving emergency fund? A lot of people just put in their money into a bank, or they put their money into a CD, and that's it. So a place that we can do is UIT. And guys, I'm gonna say this again. UIT is just like a RILA, and it's just like an IUL, but it is short term. It is for 15 months. So when you look at the 4 box on this, does it have growth? Yes, it has growth up to a cap, right? That cap could depend, 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%, but it also has a buffer. Again, you have a buffer of 10 to 20% buffer, right? It's liquid, which means you put it in there, it's 15 months. Put in 15 months goes by just like that. You put money into a CD, most CDs are 12 months, right? That's liquid. This you put it in for 15 months. But this does come with a cost, 2.5%. But usually with that cost, once you put your money in, and you're gonna recover it pretty well, pretty fast, because the return has been pretty good. We're talking about 10%, 15%. We've seen some up to 20% return in a 15-month. So when you take a look at this, all three of them to me is the same thing. An IUL is growth with safety, has life insurance. A RILA, all right, has growth, has the buffer, which is safety, and is for the long run for investment. An IUL has growth and it has the buffer. It's for the short term, for 15 months. So if you like that growth, you like that safety, right? This is the way to go. And it's nothing different. But you cannot say that, hey, I love IUL, but I don't love RILA. Or I love RILA, but I don't love IUL. Or I love IUL and RILA, but I don't love UIT. Because they're all the same, but they're just different kids. They're from the same family, right? They're from the same family. The family of you get growth and safety at the same time, right? And I want to tell you one more 4-box that we got to know about. And to me, this is how we're going to be able to approach more family. This is how we're going to be able to really go out there and dominate the market, to reach our 30 by 30 campaign. And that's about joining our campaign. Because now with the focus on the security license, we got to focus on the big picture. But the reason why we're focusing on the security license, Wade, is not all because of RILA or UIT or IUL, is because we want to get more people to join the campaign. That's how we're going to grow. That's how our business is going to grow. That's how WSB is going to dominate the industry. We already dominate the insurance industry, but we're going to dominate the investment industry too. And WSB is going to be a household name in a few years. And we talk about joining a campaign. You got to be financially educated. You got to be educated yourself, right? Right. So the most important thing is you have to know about financial education. That's why you go to the workshop. That's why you read the blue book. But you also have to be your own money manager. Why do we want you to join the campaign? Because we want you to be your own money manager. We want you to learn for yourself. Don't put your hand and your future, your family's future, in somebody else's hand. Put your future in your hand to be able to build something. And so to me, when I look at this, you know what? The least thing I tell people, you got to be financially educated. That's the reason why you joined this campaign. And you got to be your own money manager. And the third thing is be a licensed professional. When you are fully licensed with your life and health, with your Series 6 and 63, you're going to be fully licensed. And to me, this is a profession, Tony. When you're licensed, you're a profession. It's not a side job. It's not a side hustle. It's not a side business. It is a profession. When I was a pharmacist, I had a license. And when people look at pharmacists, they look at doctors, engineers, lawyers, because all of them have to get certified. They have to be licensed. They look at them as a profession. But do you look at a law firm? A law firm is just, they own a business, but they have license to be professionals, right? A pharmacy is the same way. A doctor clinic is the same way. And we're the same way here. We are licensed professional. And I take pride in that. I take a lot of pride in being a licensed professional. A lot of pride in being a financial advisor rep so I can help families out there. Take a lot of pride in who I am. And I want everybody here in Katy, everybody on Zoom to take very pride of yourself because you're a licensed professional and nobody can take that away from you. No other candy company, no other competitor out there can say they are a licensed professional, that they professional. Because if you go out there and you only sell term, you're not a professional, right? But you're a professional when you are fully licensed and you go out there and you help families and you build yourself a business and you build a big business. You build a big business. I want to remind everybody, and you don't know this, you are a business owner. When you have a business, you are a business owner. When a pharmacist have a pharmacy, they are a business owner. They have to run a business. When a doctor has a clinic, they are a business owner. Their profession, their license is a doctor, but they are a business owner. They have to show up every single day, right? They have to invest into their business. They have to travel for their business, and they have to take time to study. They have to go out there and get their clients. They have to follow up. They have to prospect. They have to do whatever it takes to do. So when we did this, yes, Ryla is great. I love Ryla. In the last 3 days, a lot of people know we moved my team and some of the other partners here. I myself have moved $1.5 million into Ryla and UITs. And we got here, Mr. Luna, he's moved over $1 million himself just the last few days here. And it got to the point where, Tony, we're getting emails from, or we're emailing TFA and saying, business is coming in so much right now. And it's going to continue and continue and continue. So the product is great, but the best product, I want everybody to remember, the best product that we have is the campaign. That's the best product. If you don't share the campaign, then you're not sharing about what it can really do to change people's life, to change their legacy. So be financially educated out there, okay? Be your own money manager. Be a licensed professional. Get licensed as soon as possible. We got wonderful classes. We got SIE classes. We got Security 101 classes. We do the red flip chart every Saturday now. So we got wonderful classes. So be licensed and build a big business out there. I'm looking forward to building a big business. I'm looking forward to being Big Kahuna. I'm looking forward to a lot of people, not only here in Katy, but all of WSB to be a Big Kahuna, to be a Kahuna, rising Kahuna, and Big Kahuna, okay? So I'm very excited. Guys, I want to just share with you about that and about how we can be able to go out there and help families. And you know what? Join the campaign. Join the campaign. And Yvette, I'm going to turn it back over to you. I'm excited, but that's all I have to share because that's really all I wanted to talk about there.
All right, awesome. All right, let's give a wonderful recognition to Mr. Frank Dion. How do you pronounce it, Frank? Young?
Yeah, it's called Frank #1.
Right.
Young.
All right. Okay. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for that wonderful sharing. You know what I wanted to share one of the slide. One of my favorite, with the new slide right now, Frank, is this page right here. Right. So for those of you who are familiar with that, I mean, this is very exciting, don't you think so? Right, Oakbrook?
Yes.
Right. You see, wealth market, the largest wealth transfer is currently underway. 124 trillion. Could you imagine? We'll change hands. I hope that our hands is in between those changing hands by 2048, isn't it? I mean, if you think about it, if we can just get 0.001 of 124 trillion, how much is that? Well, I look it up. It's 124 billion. Right? JC, 124 billion. This transfer will benefit Gen X. You guys. No, because I'm Gen Y, because my name is Yvette, right? Letter Y. As Americans age 45 to 60, right, are projected to inherit an average of 1.4 trillion every year over the next 10. Oh my God, right? So if I were you, the training tonight by Frank, we got to apply it. We got to get, I'm glad, right? I just missed, I parked my securities license, but when I submitted my U4 again, they said I needed to redo my 63, which is like, right? But I'm going to do it by the end of the month, but I'm excited. I love the holistic approach. So I'm telling you, this is the game changer, and I can't wait, right, till we really see the domination of WSB in the industry, right? So, but the second trainer, I'm really proud to introduce her because I saw this wonderful lady from start to now, how she is one of the leading giants in our community. And again, she's the only queen of Savannah. Let's give it up to Pam Wynn. Take it away, Pam.
Yvette, thank you so much, Yvette. I know you saw me, man, when I was a baby, right? Right now I'm in adulthood,
You
right?
were in diapers. You were
Yeah.
crying. I'm not the green jacket yet. And
Yeah.
I'm so
I'm
proud
gonna
of
be a
you,
green
girl.
jacket, right?
Go
All
ahead.
right. Awesome. Thank you, Yvette, for that kind introduction. So I'm super excited. I am here to share with you guys just some mindset, right? Some system. Because you know what? And Frank, Mr. Frank Yung did a wonderful job showing that we do have the platform, right? We do have the solution. But the problem is, do we go out there and close, right? I mean, it doesn't matter how big our company is. It doesn't matter we're over $1 billion company. There's 124 trillion, of asset that's going to be transferred. It doesn't matter how much we can help families and we have everything that we need in our hands. But the question is, are you willing to go out there and let people know and close, right? We have to close, but we gotta know why we close, right? Oh, battery. Can someone help me for so why do we need to close, right? And you know what? If we don't open our mouth, if we don't follow the system, if we don't go out there and help families, all of this platform that we have, all the licenses that we have, means nothing, right? And so that's my goal for today is to be able to share with you guys that mindset on why we need to close. Because at the end of the day, we are in the business, to help people, right? So when you close, you help families, right? It correlates to one another. So why do we need to close? Okay. So, well, first of all, we got to understand, right? Closing mindset. So these are just a few things that I want to, read to you guys. In financial services, which by the way is one of the highest paid industry out there, right? Is financial services. Closing isn't about pressure. You don't pressure people. It's about conviction, clarity, and care, right? And again, we're not out here, telling people to buy perfume or vacuum cleaner or coffee. All those are good, but we're here to save lives, right? So it's about conviction, clarity, and care. Here are a few strong mindset for, closing. Number one, closing is simply helping people make a decision that protects their future. Do we protect people's future? Yes, right? When you truly believe in the value you bring, closing becomes serving. We're here to serve people, right? People don't buy pressure. So don't ever think you're pressuring people when you ask them for their driver license, when you ask them to protect their family, when you ask them to save $17 a day, you're not pressuring them. Okay, so people don't buy pressure, they buy certainty, confidence, and trust. Okay, so you got to be certain, you got to be confident you're helping families, right? And you got to build that trust. A strong closer listens more than they speak. So, do we know how to listen on what people need, what people are looking for, right? Closing starts with caring, not convincing. Never convince people because, my friend, if you lay out the foundation, if you lay out the education, people need it. 100% of people care about their money. So you don't have to convince them, you have to educate and care. If you can change someone's financial future, you owe it to them to ask for the decision. Don't be afraid to ask for their decision, okay? Because you owe it to them. You're already here, you're educating, you have the license, you know that you could save their lives, right? Ask for a decision. They have to make a decision, right? After all, we are our worst enemy, right? In financial services, closing means giving families a plan instead of leaving them with uncertainty. When there's no plan, it's uncertain. When you have no clue what you're going to do when you retire, how you're going to protect your family, how you're going to transfer your wealth, those are uncertainties, right? So we got to make sure that we help families with that. And then, of course, confidence closes, hesitation confuses. The question is, are you confident that you're helping them, right? You got to be confident. You don't hesitate that am I helping this person? Can this person afford it? Can do that? You got to know what you're doing. The best closers educate first, then guide people to take action. Again, that's why we're so blessed in WSB. Our platform is financial literacy, right? Every close is a life potentially change. Every close is a life potentially change. So again, closing isn't about selling people. It's about believing enough in what you do to help people take action. So it all starts from us. You can only close if you are certain, if you are confident, right? All right. So, true definition of ownership. Again, after all, we own this business, right? Why are you in this business? Why are you in WSB? Because you own your time. We're all 1099 here. We're all a business owner. All of us here come in here so that we can own our time, right? You also here to own your own business that could give you passive income. Is that right? Because right now, most of us work for the money. You got to make sure the money work hard for you. And guess what? In financial services, you can have the money work hard for you in two different ways. Number one, with enough knowledge to invest properly, to save your own money, to grow your own money working for you while you sleep. But the second one is building a big business that could create passive income. And we have it both, right? Also, you're here because you want to own your own paycheck. How many times you work? I used to be a nurse. I cannot tell my boss to pay me, right? Whatever I want. They pay me what they could. So you in the business, you own your own paycheck. You write your own paycheck. And then of course you're here because you want to own a career. A real career that will last forever, that could pass into generations to come, right? So you got to make a decision. You got to also ask for a decision, but it's within us, right? So you can achieve anything if you put your mind and body together, right? We were born without individuality, and we develop it as we grow. That's why our communityship is about. That's why our BPM is about. That's what our conventions is about, right? I know I grew up in the business, never miss a meeting, never miss a convention, right? Because I grew. I caught that, right? So also WSB is our environment, right? And they said it's the cheapest self-improvement program there is. You know what? I never talk like this, never been in front of people, and again, it's the cheapest self-improvement. And again, as you improve yourself, you build your big business. And then also, ask yourself this, right? How can you focus if you don't have a destination? So every family you help, every person you're in front of, what is your goal? Right? What is it that you want to achieve? What about in this business? What is your destination? What is your goal today? What is your goal tomorrow, 6 months from now, a year from now? You have to have a destination. That's what business planning is all about. You got to have a business plan, right? And this is I just like this because you think about it, right? When you're feeling down, right? Do you have to be happy first before you walk faster? Or you walk faster and it makes you happy, right? When you're feeling down, people, your appointments doesn't pan out, the results you wanted to have, you were expecting this thing and it didn't happen, right? What do? You gotta move faster. The more you gotta fight faster, the more you gotta talk faster, the more you gotta get excited, right? So do it now. Not you could have done it yesterday, you could still do it today. That's what I love about WSB. It's your own business, right? So what do we need to do? Focus on the system, right? We are already so blessed that we have a system in place that allows us to build it big. All we need to do is follow, right? I mean, think about it. If you franchise a business such as McDonald's, right? You got to follow their system. Doesn't matter. You don't have to have a background in food services to own a McDonald's. But guess what? You got to know how to follow their system. So here you want to be big, follow the system. And the system we run right now is the GX program. For those of you who are new, that's all right. You're going to learn about the GX program, right? It's our minimum standard of operation in this business, right? So minimum, since you are here to build your own agency, you build your own financial firm, you got to have 3 new people to train every single month. You have to. How could you possibly build an agency if you don't have people to train, right? You're building your own financial firm, your own business here, right? So in the GX program, you need to have 3 new people, 3 new upcoming entrepreneurs to train, right? And then 15,000 points. What does that mean even, right? That means families helped, right? So 15,000 point is about 3 to 5 clients, 3 to 5 solutions in place in a month, right? Because you know what? Those are the families that you help. So imagine if you do this, right? For those of you who know our levels, right? So if you're a brand new person and you just got licensed, you're a trainee, 25% contract, guarantee, right? You are going to make $3,750 if you do our GX program a month. My friend, this is a full-time income for most people. A bachelor's degree, 4 years in school. Sometimes you have student loans, right? And then you got to make this amount of money working full time, right? Here, part time. As long as you train 3 people and help 3 to 5 families, 3 to 5 people a month, you will make $45,000 a year. Okay. Now, if you're an associate, your 35% contract guarantee you will make $5,250 a month. Wow, that's a master's degree, sometimes doctorate degree. Got to be in school 6 years, right? Or more, plus the student loans, right? All of that. And here you can do that just doing GX, and you can make $63,000 a year. And then if you're a marketing director, which is, by the way, in WSB, in a month, you could become a marketing director, or less than a month. You could make, if you do GX, right? Our minimum standard, our system, you can make $7,500 a month income, which is, my friend, $90,000 a year. And again, that is, again, the doctorate degree or working 60, 80 hours a week for you to make that kind of money, right? Again, income is here, right? And then if you become a senior marketing director, right, easily you can make almost $10,000 a month guarantee. If you do personally, GX 15,000 points, and you can make over 6-figure income, over $117,000 a year, right? So how many of you want to make 6-figure income in a business, right? Of course, we all do, right? And again, we show you the map on how to do that. That's why do it now. Why wait? You know, if you're getting licensed, I want to learn everything before I get licensed. Why wait? You got to start learning the trade as you're studying, as you're getting licensed, so that you could build a business. If you wait to get licensed, that's just a piece of paper. If you get licensed, you have no clue what to do, right? It means nothing. You make zero money. Does that make sense? So now let's say this is personal. Okay. This is you personally going out there helping families, right? But what if you build an agency, a financial firm, right? Here you are, just simply put, right? Let's say you are a senior marketing director, 65% contract. You build an agency, you're part-time, a part-time agency, which, by the way, should be full-time at this point, right? But just at the minimum example, so you know how doable it is. Someone saving $8 a day. I don't know. I think it's correct. $8 a day. So they actually pay you from based on what, a whole year premium. So here you are. I'm a senior marketing director. I do 1 client a week, 4 clients a month. I can make $5,720 myself. I can pay the bills. I make good income, right? But then I decided to spend time to train people. Remember, I told you you bring 3 new people in the business so you can train and build your agency. So let's say you have 2 marketing directors that you've built, that you've trained, right? They're licensed. They, unfortunately, they come part-time as well, right? Let's say each of them do 5 solutions a month, right? They make their own money. Company will pay them based on their contract, 100%. But because you train them, the company will pay you what's called a spread. Spread is your agency income. That's your agency fee because you've trained them, right? And then let's say you got 2 associates, right, that are licensed, and they are starting to train people as well, right? And they have 6 agents that's doing at least 3 solutions a month. That's part-time. 3 solutions a month. They make their own income. Guess what? Company pay them based on their contract. But because you spent time to train them, the company will pay you what's called a spread, which is your agency fee, agency income. So again, having a handful of people licensed that you've trained and yourself, you could potentially bring home $13,000 a month income as a business. And if you multiply that by 12 months, guess what? You make over $150,000 income in your agency. Is that pretty good? Absolutely. And again, at the minimum, someone's saving $8 a day. And here we're educating families. So when they're educated, they know better. Some people save more than that, $10 a day, $17 a day, and whatnot, right? And then, of course, you're going to build a big firm, a big financial firm. You own that firm and you're going to train a lot of people. Obviously, your income is definitely going to be higher than that, right? So again, the strength in numbers, right? Why are we here? Why are we building? Why do we have to close? Why do we have to do GX? Right? What type of business are you in? Do you understand that as well, right? We are not in the presentation business. What I find a lot is that people go out there and master the presentation. They want to be the best, right? They want to be the smoothest, the best, the best transition, right? But all it is presentation without closing. It means nothing. We're not in the insurance business either, as you guys learned earlier, right? We are in a holistic approach. We have a holistic approach. We help families with everything, right? We are not in a financial services business either, only, right? Because we build people, we train people, right? We train entrepreneurs. We're not in sales business as well, right? But you know what we are? We are in connecting business. Okay, we build relationship, right? Because when you have relationship and when you can connect them to our financial literacy, when you can connect them to our financial solutions, you're building a big business, right? So to connect, you have to show up. That's the thing. Question is, how many people in your team are not here today, right? I mean, you think about it, right? How many? You got to show up to connect, to build a business. You have to invest time. You know what? I find that when I used to work a full-time job, right? Because I have free time, I always get a part-time job, right? So how come people who have full-time job and part-time job, the part-time knows their hours on the full-time and the full-time knows their hours on the part-time and they make it work? How about people in school? You work full time, you are in school, you arrange, you make it work. And the same here. You got to invest time here. Okay. You have to ask, always ask. Have you heard of financial literacy program? Is your money controlling you? Right. You have to talk, open your mouth. You have to keep track. You have to monitor. You have to know why you need to connect, right? Why do we need to connect to people? Because people needs help as you did. I needed help. And then I developed passion because I was helped. And now I can share, right? You have to be excited as well. You got to look at people in the eye and let them know that you can help them, right? And you have to be confident that you own a big business. You have the tools to help them, okay? So now, now you understand the mindset. What are the things we got to do, right? Well, you got to do BMP and BPM. What the heck is that, Pam? Okay, BMP is bring meeting to people. Okay, bring meeting to people to grow and expand and to duplicate. Okay, what are the examples of that? Drop by, stop by. You know what? I'm an entrepreneur. I know I can help families. I go help businesses. I talk to businesses. I work with businesses. Go drop by, stop by businesses and let them know, hey, you know what? I'm Pamela Nguyen. I work with business owners and we help them strategize with their business, right? To make it better. Okay. And then, of course, one-on-one. The same thing, okay? You gotta start talking to your friends and family. The biggest thing here in this business is that because we do so well, what we do is save people's lives. Who do you want to help? People you care about or people you don't know? The people you care about first, okay? You start talking to the family, the friends, the co-workers, right? Your frenemies, right? I'm just kidding. So you talk to people, okay? And then field training, obviously your team, right? Now you're starting to build a team. Guess what? Okay? You got to make sure that you tell them, hey, listen, you know what? Field training, I'm here. Before I can get you out there to help families, let me help you first. And that's what I love about the integrity of our business, right? And then, of course, home BPM. Okay, home BPM is a way to actually fast start people, duplicate people. When you have a new member, let's say, you say, hey, listen, invite the people you care about, invite the people who deserve financial education, and we will come in and educate them. And you get to see how we work the business, right? So now, after that's said and done, right? You also need to, from that, you're gonna develop a share list. You're gonna develop people. People are now either gonna join you or they're gonna get the solution from you, and it's time to bring them to the meeting, right? There are also meetings that you can bring people in, right? So that's the office BPM twice a week, events, right? Special training, right? So these are things that's in place for you. You don't have to set it up. You don't have to think how to do it. It's all set up for us all across US and all across Canada. And that's what's beautiful, right? Again, you just connect, okay? So this business is so simple and we are the one who complicates it. Don't you think? Don't you agree? It's because again, everything is in place for us, right? So now setting up a home BM just quickly, and again, these are all in the book as well, right? You gotta, especially to new people, it's a way to easy start them. Easy start is simply getting a result as fast as you can. And they're duplicating you as fast as you can. And the best way to do that is through home BPM, right? With our team, we do home BPM and we work together, sidelines, the same team. We have 4, 5, 6, sometimes 10 people, right, in the BPM plus the guests, right? So it creates momentum and duplication. Give clear reason why home BPM is important and the benefits of doing it. Okay. Do an interview, visit a new campaigner at home, set a definitive time on when to do it, and right now, even a person that has not joined the business, they actually host a BPM for us. And I've seen it over and over. You know what? Come and do it at my house. They haven't even joined, but they host a BPM because they see how good it is for families, right? And they know people who need it, right? And then, of course, at the end of the day, it's all about invitation. Hey, have you ever opened a business that you never market your business? Tell me that, right? If you open a restaurant, you got to market the restaurant. You got to let people know, hey, I have this, come in, check it out. I just opened a new business. You got to invite people, right? And how do you invite people? Go through their share list, drop by, stop by, phone calls, referrals, ask for referrals. Our workshops, right? When they attend the workshop, you ask them, hey, do you think you learned something? And how many people do you think deserve to learn this education? We would love to sponsor them as well, right? And then, of course, daily communication, daily follow up, right? And always, always confirm your guest. Don't set up a BPM and never confirm and then hoping they're just going to show up, right? Because most of the time, they don't prioritize you because they don't know. They have no idea how important what you do, right? And then, of course, at the home BPM, we always have to prepare, always come early. All of these things, I'm sure it's common sense, but we just got to remind you that we got to be professional. We're business owners, so we got to make sure everything is set, right? And then, of course, always know who are the guests, right? And build rapport. And then, of course, sometimes, especially in our Filipino community, we love a food, always have food, right? But we got to prioritize. We can't invite someone in a home BPM and not tell them that we're not having a business presentation, right? You got to make sure we present first, we prioritize, and then we can eat, and then we can mozone, right? And we always have to be flexible with questions and always end the BPM by sponsoring them to our free financial workshops, by sponsoring them through our PFS, free financial checkup. And, because we do that for families. So don't let them leave without a return appointment for financial checkup. After all, what's more powerful than knowledge is applied knowledge, right? Now, as far as the team, right, after BPM, we got to debrief. After the BPM, we got a debrief, short meeting. How did it go? What we could improve, right? Praise the team with the hard work, and of course, assign the follow-up. So just some examples, you guys. So we got a lot of new members. This is back then, right? Home BPM. We use it as an easy start, right? A lot of new members, they come and then they learn from the BPM. Again, great field training, right? And then, of course, at this example that I showed earlier, we actually got a 6 recruit, one of our MD at the Emily right there, right? And then at the Era, they were building it big through home BPM. And a lot of these people are new, and we were able to get a lot of results because of a home BPM, right? And then, of course, our team member here, Chrissy, did it too at her home. This is a new team member duplicating. This is a sideline, right? Duplication is the key. And then, of course, mainstream. So one of our partner as well, one of our MD, Connie, we actually educated 80 realtors in the mainstream. So we just stopped by a realtor agent company and one of the biggest realtor agency in Savannah, and they scheduled us, and we did a presentation. We have some in online, a lot online, and also live, right? And then, of course, we did the church event as well. 20 plus people at the church, and again, these are sidelines as well, and our team. So again, working together. So at the end, to end this, right? What is your truth? Okay, perception is real, but truth is not. Okay, how do you perceive the business? How do you perceive closing? How do you perceive the campaign? Right? I mean, sometimes what we perceive becomes the truth, but it really isn't. It's really not that hard, right? It's something that we help families with and we can change people's lives, right? So again, it's law of large numbers, more talk, more recruits. No talk, no recruits, right? And so this is our team. We are currently right now Kahuna on the rising as a Kahuna jacket, right? Which is 50 GXers. So we're gonna hit that. Right now we're Rising Kahuna in March. We're gonna hit that by building Rising Kahunas, right? Just in May, we're expected to have 4 Rising Kahunas in May because it's all about system discipline. Our goal is very simple: 10 results a day. And then, of course, duplicating Rising Kahunas is the key, right? And we are now currently 35 GX blocks, right? And we need 50. So I know that we're gonna make sure we're gonna finish Kahuna and push for big Kahuna before convention, right? So here's our bubble chart. We've grown our bubble chart. We're building many GXers, right? And we had a record month in March, right? So I've shared this in the community, but because our goal is 10 results a day, we were able to actually get 91 results in 30 days. To me, I love looking at results because it correlates to how many families we help, right? And so 91 results is about 3 results a day. And we submitted about 54 recruits, 54 upcoming entrepreneurs to train in the month of March, right? And submitted 157,000 points, right? And then, of course, we need to be consistent, right? So we continue to fight. And then March, we ended up with 60 results. Well, so we didn't get that consistency, but that's okay, right? Because we got 60 results that month. But again, we are coming back because I continue to talk to the team. Guess what? 10 results a day, right? So right now, the first 2 weeks of May, we so far have about 48 results so far in the first 2 weeks of May, right? So we monitor all our results, every single meeting, every single base shop. So we got 19 recruits, 19 upcoming entrepreneurs to train in the first 2 weeks of May, and we submitted already 153,000 points submitted. I'm proud about that because that equates to families' help, right? So now, if you want to do something big, you gotta want it bad enough. You want to win in life, you have to win in your mind. It starts with the mind. I learned that from Coach. We gotta train our mind before we can become big. You have to plan and prepare to be big. It's about it's not just gonna happen. You plan for that. What are the sacrifices you gotta make? Excuse doesn't count in the big league. Crisis is only in your mind. And then once you do that and get over that crisis, hero emerges out of a crisis. Okay? So the truth is, we have to turn the truth into reality. Okay? So you got to make sure that, you know what? You got to know what we do. You got to be confident. If you chase your team, you will lose. You got to make sure that you build your team. Okay? You can't stare at a parked car. It's one of the things that coach say too all the time. This is everything from coach, right? You can't stare at a parked car. You got to move. You got to lead by example. And you can't coach somebody that is not moving. Okay. So that's it for me. I'm super excited. I'm fired up with what's happening in our team. But I wanted to share that, again, you can only make the income you want to make here based on your action and based on your closing. Okay. Again, there's no guarantee, but it's your business. You can make it happen and you write your own paycheck, right? Thank you so much. Woo!
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow! Well, congratulations, Bob. I know you're gonna eat kahuna. So I guess there's really nothing left to say, but let's all speed up. Let's hit GX, own our business, and let's have a great rest of our week. Thank you, guys. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.